championship night on a Monday night. All roads lead to Charlotte, and we welcome you to the Coast to Coast Racing Network and the Coast to Coast Racing League's live coverage of Monday Night Madness, brought to you by the Weekend Speedway. 3 titles up for grabs here at Charlotte. We begin tonight with the Open 358s, which are brought to you by our friends at Glenridge Motorsports Park. We are set for some action this evening. So glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Marty Sakala. Should have both Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman joining me in just a bit. Qualifying currently underway as things stand. And let's talk about everything coming on in here with the Open 358s. 2 drivers mathematically eligible for the championship, Anthony Morano and Sam Bachman. Morano just picked up the quickest time at a 16:39. Morano is in front if you put in 2 drops right now, a 14-point advantage on Sam Bachman coming in tonight. Morano's won 4 Coast to Coast Racing League championships, all those coming last season in 2023 fall. Sam Bachman, meanwhile, 14 points behind, and he is looking for title number 1. Well, we're going to get into the thick of things here and get set to go for heat race number 1. First heat race is brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies, quality racing bodies, produced by Dan Chapman of the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Scott Rayom starts on pole position in the 40-44. Next to him, Randall Dixon in the 11. Row 2, it's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Next to Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 3, G.J. Boydell with the 014. And Dan McLaren in the 88. Row number 4, Jake Henry in the 171. And Bob DeGood in car number 7. Everyone makes the feature. Here's how a typical night goes. 2 minutes of qualifying. Top 5 receive points based on their times. We then go into heat races. We invert the top 4 prior to the green flag. 8 laps, or actually check that, maybe 6 laps, as we are set to go racing. Top 6 drivers transfer on. Top 4 drivers normally transfer on in because we have our full field. Everyone makes it into the feature. 30-lap feature tonight for the Open 358s and Rebels, 35 for Renegades. Heat 1 underway. Winner starts on pole position, and it's Scott Rayom that has the early advantage. Randall Dixon in second around the outside, looking for the race lead. Anthony Morano on the cushion next to the top shelf. Door to door into turn number 3. Rayom slide jobs on Dixon, but a little bit too far up the hill. You've got a new leader in Randall Dixon. As we complete lap 2, as Rayom taps the wall. Here comes Morano now all the way downstairs. 3 full throttle drivers in this race for the lead. They're all 3 wide for the second spot next to Randall Dixon in the 011. You see Rayom try to send it longer way around the track. You ride on board with Dean Reynolds right next to that quarter panel of the 4. Reynolds having to let off of it just a little bit. We've got 2 laps to go. Meanwhile, in heat race number 1, Dixon, quickest lap of anyone at a 16:56. 2 358 modified series if you're new to the Coast to Coast Racing League. Thursday night, 358 modifieds are fixed. Monday night, the modifieds are open setup. Final lap underway for Dixon in the 011. As he makes his way off turn number 2, I think we know who's going to win heat 1. Who is going to finish in second? Rayom, Reynolds, or Morano? 3 wide to the line, and it's Rayom, then Reynolds, then Morano. Look at how tight that gap is. Boydell 5th, McLaren 6th, Henry 7th, and DeGood 8th. And so now we move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. And here's a look at how they line up. Logan Wentz on pole position in the 118. Next to him, it's Michael Vitale in the 213. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the hunt for the championship. Next to Callie Wheeler in the 110. Row 3, Matt Schaefer in the 833. Next to Bud Molyneux in the 883. Row number 4, it's Randy Shreves of the 56 and John Morano in the 33. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Hello to Duante Redhawks, who is rooting for Sam Bachman in the chat. Thanks for joining us this evening. Again, 14 points is the deficit coming on in. Each driver with 2 drops this season. Morano already has dropped a worse finish of 5th, so another 5th would drop and pretty much wrap up the championship for him. Bachman has had to drop a 14th, now looking to drop a 13th this evening. If he finishes worse than that, that's pretty much going to do it for the title hunt.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out, we're underway. Field side by side off of turn 2 between Wentz and Vitale. Bachman in the James Bond 107 underneath on Wheeler. 2 by 2 off of turn 4, and lap 1 led by Vitale just barely. Wentz all by himself downstairs. All of the drivers have switched up to the neutral groove on that middle line. And now second place has changed in the hands of Kelly Wheeler. But Vitale, quickest car on the track with a 16.5 after lap 2. A lot of yaw for Logan Wentz entering turn number 3, but it may help him out. It doesn't. He tries to slot in front of Bachman, but he is there on the outside. And now Bachman nearly hits the wall, but making a great exit off of 2. And I think that just helped him out off of turn 4. Bachman moves into 3rd. Meanwhile, Vitale is checking out. 16:43 last time by. Wheeler, meanwhile, a 16:47. So Kelly's hanging in there, that's for sure. Good race for 3rd that's Bachman that got sideways. Logan Wentz. Excuse me, that's Molyneux. They got a little bit sideways. Final lap underway in heat race number 2. Molyneux up the hill, nearly doors Logan Wentz. Here's the race off for turn 4. Wheeler tries to send it, but Vitale wins heat 2. Bachman, Wentz, Molyneux, Shreve, Schaefer, and Morano. That's the field after 2 heat races. We now move on to heat 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park, running Sunday nights, and will also host a Dirt Car 358 Modified Series event this summer. Here's the starting lineup on the pole. It's Butters, Jason Butterfield in car number 93, next to Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Row number 2, Harold Klump in the 76, and Jeremy Paulson in the 00. Row 3, Jeff Barker, the Brewer to Beast in the 513, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Rounding out the field, it's Steve O'Donovan Ross in the 05. So field is rolling off. Folks, just a heads up, this may be the final night that you see good graphics. Obviously, tomorrow with the new iRacing update coming out that features the rain, graphics cards may turn you know what. So NVIDIA and AMD may be making some good money here throughout these next couple of days.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Heat 3 is underway. Butterfield with a great start as Trent Verstraeten was caught sleeping in the Super Dirt Car Series 088 ride. Harold Klump in the throwback 76 in second. Lap 1 led by Butters. And so we watch Verstraeten and Barker race for the 3rd spot off of turn 2. That's a good race we're watching closely. Barker normally performs well in the 358s. Here comes Paulson in the 00. Been a while since we've called out his name. Normally races the Vanderbilt entry from time to time. Harold Klump, meanwhile, quickest car on track, 1670 last time by. Take a look on board. Top speed into turn 1, 103 miles an hour. I love the spoiler on Jason Butterfield. Upside down, it reads flip him over in case he goes upside down. Butterfield has been prone to flipping in the past. 2 to go. Paulson, the quickest driver on track at a 16:56. Everyone hugging that cushion as much as they can and trying to avoid getting the chocolate chips. Paulson with a nice hot rod, but he sent it in a little bit too deep, allowing Barker to close in. Final lap underway in Heat 3. Butterfield, quickest lap last time by, also with a 16:56. Klump looking to close in. Too much throttle off for turn 2. Nearly clips the wall. That helps out Jason Butterfield off for 4. Takes the checkers and wins Heat 3. Klump second for straight and third. Paulson fourth. Barker fifth. Clevenger sixth. And Ross seventh. That does it for preliminary actions for Open 358. We're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, feature time. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups are wrapping up. Right now, Dean Reynolds, the quickest driver on track, 16:4.76. As things stand in his Super Dirt Car Series number 79. World of Outlaws, by the way, running tonight at Fallujah as a part of the Daytona Bite Week Jam. So yes, that's a lot of fun. A lot of people tune into that tonight. I may put that on during the commercial break, or actually maybe watch the feature later tonight when we get done here. All depends on when we wrap up here. Kelly Weir in 110, second quick. 8 thousandths off of Dino's pace. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm Marty Sakala with you. And let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Before we give you your starting lineup, a reminder of the points coming on in. Anthony Morano, a 14-point advantage on Sam Bachman. Who takes the championship? We're about to find out. Let's meet your field and give you your starting lineup, brought to you by RSN Trackside. On the pole, Randall Dixon in the 011. Next to him, Michael Vitale in the 213. Row 2, Jason Butterfield in the 93, and Scott Rayome in the 4. Row 3, Kelly Wheeler in the 110, and Harold Klump in the 76. Row 4, Dean Reynolds in the 79, and Sam Bachman in the 107. Rounding out the top 10, Trent Verstraeten in the 88, and Anthony Morano in the 32. Row 6, Logan Wentz in the 118, and next to him, it's Jeremy Paulson in the 00. Row 7, G.J. Boydell with the 014, Bud Molyneux in the 883. Row number 8, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88. Rounding out the field this evening, Randy Shreves of the 56, Jack Clevenger in the 78, Jake Henry in the 171, Matt Schaefer in the 833, Devo Donovan Ross in the 05, Bob DeGood in the 7, and John Morano in the 33. Lights are out on the Steve King Foundation pace truck. 1 lap to the green flag. Hello to Chris checking in, rooting for Sam. Again, Sam Bachman starts 7th on the grid this evening, or check that 8th on the grid. Anthony Morano, meanwhile, starts a row behind him. Lucy Olsen start off of turn number 4. Open 358 Modified Championships. It's time to get it on. Dix has got the advantage. Trouble! Oh, a big crash. Bachman, Morano, and about a dozen of them. 2 cars upside down. Red flag, I wish, is out. Bachman, the first driver that spun on lap 1. Paulson also involved. Ross, Shreves, Morano, Barker, Henry, John Morano, DeGood, Clevenger. A junkyard in turn number 3. Let's show you in real time what happened to Bachman. Big implications towards the championship. Dean, I think, just came up. And at the opening, that's the one place you don't want to hit. And you see Randy Shreves goes on his lid. Here's another look. From a similar camera perspective, big lick, and man, oh man, you see John Morano involved. Let's go on board with Jeremy Paulson. Luckily, everyone with the quick repair. Nowhere to go, and that is a heavy collision for Jeremy Paulson. Sam Bachman, I don't know yet if we are 1 to green. We are not yet. Left front, destroyed. Give you one more here if we can. Devo. Thought he had a miss, then you see Barker spins, nowhere to go. Meanwhile, we're back to green. Randall Dixon able to hold serve. Believe this was a single file restart because we did not complete the first lap. Vitale staying right behind Randall Dixon as we complete lap number 2. 3 cars under a blanket for the race lead. All the way downstairs next to the tires is Jason Butterfield. Those wondering where your contenders are, Anthony Morano back in the 19th position. Sam Bachman has decided to call it a night, unfortunately. So he will put his focus, if he does, on Rebels and Renegades. Here's the race for the lead. Michael Vitale takes a peek underneath Randall Dixon into 1. Side by side to the 3. Let's see if Vitale can pull off the slider. Decides not to go for it. Dixon stays out in front by about a door. Nice drive off for 2. Here come both Jason Butterfield, Scott Rayom, and Kelly Wheeler. I'll make this a 5-car horseshoe for the top spot. And Randall Dixon hanging on for right now. Rayom, the quickest driver on the track at a 16:55. And that high side's working out well for him. Meanwhile, Dixon and Vitale, I think they touched in turn 3. Don't quote me on it, though. Look at this race. Oh my goodness. Rayo may make it 3 wide off for 2. Wheeler thought about throwing the needle at the same time and backed out of it. Oh, that is tight. They nearly went 4 wide. Randall Dixon, though, hanging on for dear life. Rayo looking for the drive off at turn number 2. Caution. Donovan Ross has gone around. And somehow has put the 5 back straight, so probably just a 360, but a trip to the rear for him. Take a look at what happened to Devo. Scored his first Renegades win earlier this season at Lincoln Speedway. Just got the wall by himself, and I think Shreves helped spin him out. And a 360 by Mr. Ross. Now, there were a couple of other onboards I wanted to look at, but since we got some time, maybe we can ride on board with them all. I think we can. Let's go to Randy Shreves. Again, this is from the lap 1 accident. This did not happen just now. These were some onboards that we missed because we had to go back to the green flag. And look at that. Just nowhere to go for Randy Shreves, and up and over he went. How did Jeff Barker crash earlier on tonight? Barker now running in 13th. Got in the back and had to check up. I'll take you to one more here, John Morano. It can still be heavy even at full speed. All right, first double file restart coming up here. And we will put 9 laps on the board this time. Dixon and Vitale, row 1. Butterfield, Rayom, row 2. Kelly Wheeler rounds out the top 5. Here we come off at turn 4. Dixon fires back to green. Four wide for a moment in turn 2, and there's contact between Wheeler and Wentz. Some drivers 3 wide with how wide this track is. Dixon continues to lead. Vitale second. Rayom now up on the podium. Longer way on Vitale for the 2 spot. Dean Reynolds is also closing in. Look at this mess at the line. First guy underneath is Butterfield, the 93. Take a look at the 5 lap time. Better car currently is the man in 4th in Dino. And Reynolds started back in the 7th position, in case you're keeping score at home. Going single file until Rayom trying to look underneath. The Open 358s all season long have been a phenomenal class, no matter what track it is, and they are not disappointing. Reynolds nearly went 2 for 1, but had to back out of it because Vitale shut the door on him. This could give Rayom an opportunity to hang on to 3rd for now, but the cushion's the place to be at the line. Reynolds has 3rd. Vitale backs out of it. Reynolds nearly gets to the back of him. And you've got Wheeler and Butterfield for the 5th position, too. So many battles to watch. Look at this pack. That is 10, I believe that's 10 drivers underneath the blanket. Never mind, that's all changed. We're under yellow. Ooh, Jeremy Paulson has lost a Hoosier. That was a great race going. And now the momentum drops down just a bit. See what happened to the 0-0. A lot of gas. Did somebody get him, or did the Tory tire? Oh, dead center about in that tire. Let's see what Paulson was looking at. So that's Barker in front of him. Just sent it in way too deep and tried to overcorrect it, but once you're there, you're committed. Especially in a big pack like what Paulson was in, and so he's in the pits. Would assume he has already used his quick repair, so likely will be done for the event. But 18 drivers on the lead lap as things stand. And we are approaching halfway. All right, single file restart. So I believe we've run out of the limit for doubles. Dixon, Vitale, Reynolds, Rayom, and Wheeler. Biggest mover on track. Dan McLaren, Randy Shreves each up 6 spots. They're in 10th and 11th. Vitale trying low for the race lead. I don't know if it's going to work for him. Reynolds with a send in deep. Just to try and close in the gap of the 213, but I don't think it works. Vitale trying low. Back on board with them. Don't know if it's possible to slide job right here. Dino's getting a good look at it. Look at him on the throttle. Vitale nearly hit Randall Dixon, and he may have had to back out of it, but they're still side by side in turns 3 and 4. Dixon hanging on for dear life. Does Vitale send it? Did Good and Morano have crashed? Meanwhile, no caution. We stay green for now. Top 4 drivers under a blanket for the lead, and there was nearly neck code between the top 2. Here comes Dino for second. Side by side, they nearly touch. Now, what do you do if you're Scott Rayom at the same time? Do you try and propel your teammate closer? No, he looks underneath. Vitale and Reynolds touched. Going down the back. Could be 3 wide off for 4. Oh, my, that was tight. They hook, and the wall goes both Vitale and Reynolds, and a big wreck breaks out. That may actually help them both, because the caution is out. Both of them kept it straight. Vitale to stay second. Reynolds to stay third. But how bad is the damage on both their rides? It was an accordion stack up. Trent Verstraeten and Logan Wentz, the 2 victims involved. And you see, Verstraeten has lost the left front sneaker. Show you what happened here. Gets you here, but how did Verstraeten get involved? They were hooked, and Dino was slowing down. Butterfield involved. There's Logan Wentz. Like Reynolds, I think, did he try to fit the gap? Nah, I think that Vitale just came up into him. I don't know. That was some very wild stuff, though. Let's take a look on board with Dean. Riding as high as he can. Yeah, he was holding his line. Vitale just barely came up. But, folks, that is good hard racing. As we're in the final third of this race. Again, they get to keep their positions because they kept it straight and were not the cause of the caution. 5-lap averages right now at the moment. Quickest car, either Rayom or Verstraeten. Coming back to the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Now we'll see how bad the damage is on Vitale and Reynolds, but they both have kept it going. Vitale, that may have actually helped him possibly. Inside on Dixon for the race lead. 8 laps to go in our first feature of the night. It's still a 4-car shootout. Reynolds trying around the outside, even with the left rear damage he has. Scott Rayom, his teammate, wants third. He thinks he's got a chance at it. Same with Kelly Wheeler in the 5th position. 7 laps remaining. Vitale trying low. Is it time to slide job, though? Vitale says not just yet. This track is known, though, for being slide job city in the past. 6 laps to go. On board with the 213. Trying to look low. Nearly touches the quarter panel of Dixon. Here comes Rayom underneath his teammate for third. I don't know if he'll be able to take it at the line, though. He can't. 5 laps remaining. 5-car battle for the win. Rayom again underneath. Is it going to be time to slide job? He's tried it on Vitale. They nearly touch. That was a good risk by Rayom. The first one to test out the slider line. 4 laps to go at Charlotte. Vitale is there, though, and Reynolds has a run on the outside. For those wondering as well where Anthony Morano is, he's 11th, and he's 3 laps away for the title. The two nearly touch again in the same spot. Up the track goes Club. Reynolds has to check up. Does Vitale get a run to turn number 3? Rayom gets a run in turn number 3. 2 sticks in the air, 2 to go. A 4-car battle for the win. Here, Randall Dixon has led all 28 laps of this feature tonight. Can he lead the final 2 and take the win? Vitale saving the slider for when the river card pops up. Oh, but Reynolds and Vitale touch the white flag. Rayom tries to send it in. It doesn't work. Vitale checks up. Does Dixon use the slider line? Vitale tries to send it. Off for 4. Randall Dixon in the checkers and wins at Charlotte. Photo for second. I think it was Reynolds and maybe Vitale, though. I don't know what's going on with Dixon, but a lot of drivers have backed out. I think Dixon forgot he's got to take a picture at the podium. But man, what a race that was, folks. Give it up for the Open 358. And for Randall Dixon, this is his 3rd start in the Open 358s this season. And I'm taking a look here at some stats. I want to confirm it on the end of Randall. Randall Dixon, ladies and gentlemen, he is officially a first-time Coast-to-Coast Racing League winner. Starting from pole, congratulations to Randall Dixon. I want to look at real quick before we interview your top 3 and your champion, which, by the way, is Anthony Morano. I do need to take a look at that photo finish at the end. Coming to the line between Dino and Vitale. How tight was it off of turn 4? They're saying it was like 2/100ths of a 2,000ths of a second. I think it was Vitale that had second by the skin of his teeth. What are the results saying anyway? We're going to pull these up here. So Reynolds lost by 1,000th. Dang. We really did mean the skin of his teeth. Oh, man. Let's talk with Dean about that here. Dino, I thought you had second there for a moment. Our timing popped up as second, but man, 1,000th short. How fun, first off, was that race?
Well, first of all, I don't know what happened on the start. My apologies to Sam if I drifted, but he got in and said no, it was racing, and I don't know if he had to get underneath Harold, and that got into me, and I drifted up. I feel bad about that because Sam was going for a title, so I want to say that first, but man, that was fun. I definitely think I had the faster car, but those guys did good. They ran their lines. He just apologized to me. He goes, I didn't realize you were on the outside of me coming out of 4. And I said, oh yeah, I had a good car. I had a good setup. The Swan Speed setup was awesome. I could run that top. Got the new pedal and wheels, and I can get aggressive now with it up top. And I'll tell you, what a race. That had to be fun. Scotty was right there. That had to be a hell of a race to watch, Marty.
That was fun, that's for sure. So, who do you want to give shout outs to on this?
Well, I got to thank the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports at first, and Gunnar Swan Chera from Swan Speed Shop. Again, that is that base speed, that's base setup that we threw in the Discord at the beginning of the year. How about Open 358s? I'm glad they're here for another season. I think that was a great way to end the year right there. And so with that, I got to thank the guys at Team Venom for allowing me in their Discord there during the Coast to Coast. I got my FTM teammates. I got a lot of them running here in Coast to Coast, and they're winning a lot of championships where I'm sitting here collecting the participation trophy instead. But it's so cool to see Anthony and Sam and Scotty now running in the league. I've been trying for a long time to get them all to run in Coast to Coast, and I'm glad they're here. It's fun to race with them and compete with them. Gotta thank you, Marty, for doing the telecast, and hopefully that rumor's true that you're going to do Mondays and Thursdays, and that's going to be really awesome. Gotta thank Coast to Coast for doing this, giving us a place to race. Gotta thank Glenwood Motorsports Park, sponsor I brought in, and we're going to talk to them to see if they can keep on going. As you can tell, I'm excited. That was the most fun I've had in a sim in a long time.
I can understand.
Well, congrats to Randy. He earned it. I thought there was a couple times I might be able to get him on the outside of turn 4. Michael, we always have good races together, and I'm watching the finish, and Scotty's right there too. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But I'll see you in Rebels. I'm gonna get the sprint car out, unload it, and we'll go do some Rebel racing.
He'll be driving and watching sprint cars at the same time. So congratulations, man! Great run.
All right, guys. Thank you. Hope you guys had fun watching that.
We did, for sure. Dean Reynolds, our third-place finisher. Let's go to the man that finished in second tonight in Michael Vitale. Man, Michael, I was just telling Dean that was a heck of a race. I do want to ask you, though, what more did you need for Randall tonight?
I think I messed up on the gear a little bit, but he was tough. I tried a few times on the inside, and I just couldn't pull him off the corner. And, that was a fun race.
Were there at points considering throwing the slide job in there, going for the win?
I'm not going to lie to you. Randy's a teammate of mine. I wasn't going to take a chance in doing that on him. So, no, that was not there.
Gotcha. How fun did you have in this race? How much fun did you have in this race?
I had a lot of fun in this race. It was white knuckle the whole time. I knew Dean was on my outside. I knew Scott was on my inside. Got a bumper a couple of times, got a little loose, and that was just telling me how close they were. It was an exciting race.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I want to give a shout-out to everybody at the Vitale Motorsports, Billy Roberts over Gears Unlimited, my teammates Jake, Randy, Nick, you for putting on the broadcast, and Coast to Coast for putting this on for us every week. And I do want to put an apology out there to Dean Reynolds. I did kind of get into him coming off 4. I tried to get off him as quick as possible, but I just want to put that out there.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Congratulations on a great run. Hopefully we see you in the Rebels.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Michael Vitale finishing second. And now we go to Victory Lane to talk with a first-time winner. Randall Dixon, welcome to Victory Lane, the Coast to Coast Racing League. How does this feel?
I'm still shaky.
Did you think that you could hold all those guys off for all 30 laps?
No. Honestly, no. Because all these guys I race with on a weekly basis mostly, and every single person is capable of winning.
Well, man, I got to ask you then, how were you able to hang on there? Because Vitale was on your tail, Reynolds was breathing down your neck, and same with Rayome.
All I heard was motors around me. I was not looking at no mirrors. I was just trying to run my lines and run them as best as I could without messing up. Because usually towards the end of a race, I've been known to kind of smack the wall.
How are you going to enjoy this one tonight?
Go to bed here in a little while, wake up and go back to work.
You going to run Rebels or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I want to give a big shout out to Vitale Motorsports, Gears Unlimited, High Mom Lens, 204 Forza, Mickey's Malt Liquor, as always. Everybody that's helped me out, coming from like FTM, Anthony Morano, all those guys.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. Enjoy this. Congratulations. You are a winner. Enjoy that winner sticker when you get it.
Yes, sir. I'll certainly post a picture of it, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. That's Randall Dixon. He is your first-time winner. And do we have Anthony? We had Anthony Morano, so I don't think we have him in the Discord. So I tell you what, while we wait for him, we're going to load up the Rebels lobby, and we're going to step aside and take a break. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get right when we were talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we are getting set to go for Rebels action. And I've actually got some friends now in the booth joining me. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman and his return to the booth, one of our booth boys, alongside Zach and I. Brandon Dimmer, the Spider Monkey. What's new, man? How's business?
Just going as usual, doing my schoolwork and about to lose my mind with it.
Well, it's good to have you back, though, early. It's good to have you back on Monday night. So, let's talk Rebels action and give you the title picture here as we approach championship night. When you look at everything coming in with the drops updated, it's coming down to Jack Hitt and Brad Waite. 23 points separate the two. Brandon, what does Brad have to do to take the title?
Just keep it clean and continue to move forward. It's going to be a very, very demanding race. This track is already very slick. At least the last time I was out on it, it was. This track has got two lines. You're either up on the wall trying to ride that cushion, or you're down at the bottom, flirting with that infield tractor tire, which we all know I love to hit. But it's just controlling one extreme or another, and careful about sliding through the middle because you will lose all tire tread immediately. I experienced that in Knoxville, and it is not a fun time.
And then on the other hand here, Zach, you have Jack Hitt looking to get things done. It's been great to see Jack Hitt in title contention throughout the entire the entire season so far.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding. An entire season is correct. I was looking at his stats a little bit, and out of his 8 races, counted 8 top 10s and 6 top 5s. So, 0 wins, but that's reminds me of my favorite driver when I was a little kid, Mark Martin. Never able to necessarily get that championship, but always consistent, always in the top 5, top 10, and just there. And he shows that consistency can do that for you, and it'd be really cool tonight if he sealed the deal and got a win tonight on championship night.
Jack Hitt is a 2-time Raiders champion. He has never won a championship in the Rebels. Brad Waite is also a Raiders champion. He won it in 2023 in the winter 1 year ago. Well, we are getting set to go for qualifying. 15 drivers with us tonight in the Rebels. And so, as I mentioned, qualifying is underway. First driver that will make their way out of the speedway, Steven Stewart in the Exo Skins number 47. Zach, it's been great to see Steven and the way both him and Talon have been performing this year. New guys on the Rebels roster.
Yeah, in his first year here, he's already battling for a top 5 spot here. I think he's in 6th, maybe battling Connor Ross, and doesn't look like Connor Ross made the call tonight. So it looks like as long as he has a decent night, he's going to move up to 5th here. I like what he's doing on his first lap, really hugging the outside wall, trying to get it as much speed as he can.
Steven Stewart on lap 1 sets the bar to 14:28 as all the other times pop up on your screen. If you see purple, likely means a pole lap. Just like what Brad Waite's working out here. Is he the quickest? Waiting. Don't think we have anything on Waite. Reynolds goes to 5th. Let's get Brad Waite here off of turn number 4 as he puts his first lap up on the board. Quickest in Sector 2. Quick time of 14:11. 14106 for the number 814. Randy Shreves, meanwhile, second lap time for Brad Waite is faster at a 14:014. And now we go to Jack Hitt, who set his lap time, his best lap of 14:32. Meanwhile, lap 1 for Dan McLaren of the 88. 14:78, and he's called it a lap. Qualifying is done. What a start for Brad Waite here, Brandon.
Yeah, it's really big getting that qualifying on the pole. He's got a little bit of work to do through his heat, but the way I know he can run, he's not going to have a problem getting through.
Yeah, and it's nice now, too, even though we invert this year, they're finally rewarding the pole. So with Jack qualifying 6th, he's not going to get any bonus points, and Brad's going to make up 5 right off the bat.
Yeah, so that is big there if you're Brad Waite. So right now that cuts the gap down. Remember, it's 23 coming on in. That puts everything at 18 at the moment. So we get set for Heat 1, which is brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. On the pole, Jack Clevenger in car number 78. Next to him, it's Gary Offutt in the 94. Row 2, Steven Stewart in the 47 next to Brad Waite in the 814. Row 3, Greg Parmalee in the 4 and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. And in row 4, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. All right, Brandon, best of luck to you in this heat.
Thank you.
Field rolls off here, ready to go green here. Who are you watching out for closely, Zach?
Definitely watching for our man Brandon to move his way up through the field here, starting in 6th. I think he can at least get his way up to 3rd here in the few amount of laps we have. He's normally quick. He's definitely quicker than that qualifying time. And somebody else who's quicker than their qualifying time, Jack Clevenger. I think Jack Clevenger is going to walk away to an easy one. It's unlike him to sit on the pole in a feature. Or, I mean, in a heat.
Well, we're going to see what goes down here in a matter of moments. Going to take one extra lap here before we go green. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Let's see here who is checking in. Hello to Trevor, our flyer, who says, please allow that rumor to be true about Thursdays. And hello to Joe Canellis checking in saying, nice race. Winner starts on pole. This is the inside row for everybody. Green flag is out. Heat 1's underway. Jack Clement gets a jump. No yaw from Gary off, but that puts him in the wall early. Everybody has to check up. And it's Clevenger and Stewart that race for the lead. Lap 1. Dead even at the line. I don't know who got that. I think it was Clevenger, Zach. But look at this. Brad Way, 2 for 1. From 4th to 1st, the 814 to the lead. Made it look easy.
Yeah, championship night, man. He's putting it on. He knows he went and got that 5 bonus points for the pole, and now he's going to try to start on the front row of the feature.
That was a 13.89 last lap for the 814. Meanwhile, Brandon Dittmer sideways off for turn 2. Wheeling and dealing that bad boy.
Yeah, he's trying to run that thing for all it's worth. He's one of those guys, he had to check up early on lap 1 whenever Gary got in there, but you see he's starting to run down Stewart there. He might have a shot at P3 before this thing's over, Marty.
It's the battle for 3rd. 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. Again, our front heat. Dittmer up at the wall. Look at Steven Stewart closing in on Jack Clevenger as we're on the white flag. Final lap underway.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised nobody else is running the bottom in turn 1 and 2. That time Steven Stewart tried it, but it's a little late now on the last lap for go down on your first try. But Brad really made it work here as he's come to the checkers.
Oh, some people may be taking notes as Brad Waite wins heat 1. Clevenger, Stewart, Dittmer, Offutt, Bixler, Parmalee, and Craig. They are on rows 1 through 8 on the inside. Now we move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. And here's a look at the starting lineup. Talia Laburri on pole position in the 19. Next to him, it's Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Row 2, Trent Verstraeten in the 088, next to Randy Shreves of the 56. Row 3, G.J. Boydell in the 014, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Rounding out the grid is Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88. Hello to Devin checking in, as he is rooting for, I believe he's rooting for Steven Stewart. If not, he is rooting for the mayor this evening. Again, going one extra lap here. Brandon, how'd the car feel out there?
Very, very loose. I finally figured out something about a little later than halfway through the race, and just wasn't enough to reel her back into third.
I think if you didn't get in the wall there with 2 to go, you would have had third because you were coming pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a chance, but you never know. I at least kept it in one piece and kept it on the track and across the finish line, so I'll take that as a win anytime I can get it.
Amen.
Gonna be going green this time off of turn number 4. Winner starts on row 1 next to Brad Waite. This is what Jack Hitt wants really badly. Heat 2 underway. Underneath is Verstraeten in for the top spot. As Ulibarri tried to crowd him on the bottom. Meanwhile, Boydell sends it 3 wide for third position. Boydell, then Shreves, then Hitt. The gentleman is fading. Look out, Dan McLaren sideways as he saves it. Shortcutting through Humpy Wheeler's grass.
3 wide again, almost. Coming out of 4. Dean Reynolds was in the middle for a second.
Randy Shreves in that second position. Now Jack Hitt, Brandon, I think, has got the high side going, but he's dealing with Boydell and Ulibarri for third.
Yeah, he's kind of running that kind of middle lane in 3 and 4, which has got a lot of tackiness there, but in 1 and 2, he's really ripping that outside. I'm loving the way he's working it. Like I said, that very, very bottom side is right there. If you can drive it, you're going to be very, very fast.
Tried to slide job Randy Shreves, but a heck of an exit for the 56. 2 laps to go. It's all Trent Verstraeten right now, but Shreves making a good run off for 2 on the cushion here, Zach.
Yeah, you know, Trent's trying to make the bottom work up front. He saw it work in the last heat, but I think it's starting to fade away. And that exit of 2 is so strong if you keep it up high.
Final lap underway. See what Hitt has for Randy Shreves. He wants to start 4th. If not, he starts 6th. He'll start 6th. Trent Verstraeten takes the checkers and wins Heat 2. Shreves, Hitt, Reynolds, Boydell, Ulibarri, and McLaren. So with that, heat race number 2 is done. And it's Brad Waite and Trent Verstraeten. That will bring us to green. With that being said, we'll take a break for the Weekend Speedway warm-up. That's what Monday Night Madness is brought to you by the Weekend Speedway. Stay with us when we come back. The Rebels feature for 30 laps of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Final moments of warm-ups here, and right now, Brandon Dittmer is the quickest at a 14:28, rolling on the high side. How's it working out for you?
Oh, she feels great, man. This thing is just steering itself.
Randy Shreves just moved up to second, 14:41. And the checkers are out here. I think we are good to go. And that we are. Alrighty. 30 laps coming up here at Charlotte. Let's meet the field and give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Brad Waite in the 814. Next to him, Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Row number 2, Jack Clevenger in the 78 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 3, Steven Stewart in the 47 and Gentleman Jack Kidd in the 217. Row 4, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83 and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Rounding out the top 10, Gary Uffa in the 94 and GJ Boydell in the 014. Row 6, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75 and Talon Ulibarri in the 19. Row 7, Greg Parmalee in the 4 and Dan McLaren in the 88. Rounding out the grid this evening, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. As the field is just about ready to roll off. Brandon, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And so 2 laps to the green flag. Zach, who's your pick to win tonight?
You know, he's going to be back there a ways, but I'm not doing this just because he's in the booth tonight. We talked a little bit off mic, and I was out there trying to test drive my setup for tonight, and I could not keep up with that 83. I think if Brandon Dittmer can get to the high side, he's going to cause a lot of trouble here tonight. He may win.
This is going to be a fun race. I think I'm going to go with my pick to win. Give me Randy Shreves at the 56.
Who you got for the championship?
For the championship, I think it's still going to be Jack Kidd.
I don't wish it on him, but you know he's had such good luck all year, Marty. Can he keep it up? I'm gonna put my money on Brad Waite tonight for the upset.
We'll see. A reminder of how the gap looks coming in. There you see it. 18 points after qualifying, 23 points coming on in to the day. Coming out for turn 4, Lucy Olsen start. Rebels Championship on the line. Head weight, who takes it? Off for turn 4, it's time to get it on. Waite and Verstraeten, wing to wing off for turn 4. Low line prevailing with Brad Waite as he leads the opening circuit. Verstraeten still hanging in there around the outside. You also have Clevenger that just cleared Shreves for the 3rd position. Waite still doesn't have the lead completely yet. Could Verstraeten get him at the line? No, he cannot, Zach.
Yeah, he's really trying to get it wound up there. Brad is committed to that bottom. It's amazing how he's making it work. Turns 1 and 2, I can see it work a little bit, but 3 and 4, man, there's like a bicycle path down there. I don't know how he's getting it down the whole way to the grass and making it work, but he's doing it.
At the same time, though, Clevenger is closing in on Verstraeten for 2nd. Jack Kidd, meanwhile, still running in 5th, starting in the 6th spot. How about the start from Dean Reynolds in the 7th position? Closing in on Steven Stewart for P6. Back to the race for 3rd. Here comes Shreves around the outside. That LGR Motorsports machine may have something up on the cushion. Who takes 3rd away, Zach?
Yeah, he's really sending it in there.
Oh! Hangs on to it. I don't know if he'll be able to get 3rd back, though. I think he edged him out for 3rd, though. I don't know. Meanwhile, Brad Waite still out in front. Just set the quickest lap last time by at a 14:43. Back to another race for 6. Steven Stewart and Dean Reynolds. This one's a fun one, Zach.
Yeah, I've been paying close attention to this, because I've been watching Dittmer. He's right behind it all. But, yeah, they've been going back and forth. It's quite the battle. Dean is doing an amazing job of not letting him clear him.
Stewart tried the slide job last lap, but would have made contact with Dino, so had to back out of it. So Brad White still out in front by 0.7 of a second. Biggest mover so far, Dan McLaren from last. He has cracked the top 10 in car number 88. He's got a battle in front of him, though, with Dittmer and Boydell. The Spider Monkey moves up into 8th past the Canadian. And now McLaren may go 2 for 1. Slide jobs Boydell. Dittmer in the wall. Attention Kmart shoppers. He hasn't done it yet, but Boydell may slide job McLaren. And now Soupy up in the wall. This is getting tight here, back here, Zach.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come off the wall there, and as Gary Offit was floating up, but Dan saw him last minute, was able to hold his line as he's trying to go back at Greg Boydell here on the high side.
Meanwhile, a good race for second. Trent Verstraeten and Randy Shreves. Let's pull up the 5-lap average and show you who the best car is on track. It's Waite, followed by Shreves. Actually, now you're looking at things. Dean Reynolds looks like he's got a bumper in front of Randy Shreves when it comes to the 5-lap average. And Reynolds wants Clevenger for 5th. Last time by, Dino ran a 14.67. He is matching leader's pace.
Yeah, impressive for Dean. He's kind of, almost.
That was tight. Clevenger tried to slam the door in his face, and Diamond turn 3. Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just about to say it. Dean was kind of one of the only persons those last couple laps. He was kind of running the middle, so a little closer line to the leader, not committed up to the wall. And I think in 3 and 4 especially, that's the way to go. The line's just the cushion's so thin up top, Marty, and it's such a long way around the track.
There you see a look at the relatives of some of the drivers on the racetrack. Randy Shreves may have something for Trent Verstraeten for second. You right on board with him. Everybody hanging on to her on the cushion. About 120 miles an hour to turn number 3. Don't think Shreves will be able to slide job. Meanwhile, Jack hit 4th. Brad Waite in the lead still. Back to the race for 4th. Jack Clevenger and Jack Hitt. Jack Hitt under attack, and this is critical for the championship.
Very critical, Marty. I can't do the math in my head. Was never that good at it, but I think if he'd lose those 2 positions to Jack and Dean, I don't think it would look good for the championship.
It was 18 points coming on in. And if he finishes 9th or worse, I believe he would lose the championship. Meanwhile, Randy Shreves is the quickest driver on the track, and him and Verstraeten are attacking Brad Waite for the race lead with 10 to go. Here comes Verstraeten. Top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Can he get the lead off for 4? Yes, he can.
Yeah, it looks like the bottom's completely gone now, Marty. He just loses all that speed in the middle of the corner. Brad does. You see all the other Jack and all them accelerate so fast up top.
Zach, do you remember what happened the first time we were at Charlotte with the new tire package and the Renegades?
Blake Chapman stole it.
We saw chaos break out. Chaos is breaking out early. Business is picking up. But Randy Shreves, who was matching Verstraeten earlier until Verstraeten took the lead, has fallen off the pace with 7 laps remaining. And now Trent Verstraeten is approaching lap traffic. Talon Ulibarri, then Roger Craig and G.J. Boydell. There's one thing he doesn't want to see. I'm not going to say it, though. As he look back, time running out for Brad Waite and Randy Shreves to catch the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. Oh, Shreves in the wall, and same with Trent Verstraeten. Here comes Brad Waite. Verstraeten throws the slide job. The Inferno ride. Back in it to the lead with 4 to go, Zach.
Oh, man, Trent just barely kissed the wall going past the front stretch and then got into it again in 1 and 2, and that opened the door. Brad Waite didn't look back through the slider. He's got to stay up top, though. He saw those guys go by him once.
3 laps to go, but look at all that traffic of Craig and Boydell. Will they be a factor? Oh, Boydell's around. He backs out of it. No caution. We stay green. Half a car length. First straight and on the throttle first. Way hangs on with 2 to go. Business is now picking up here. The cream is rising to the top. First straight, it looks low. Wade tries to shut the door on him off at 4. They touch. Hang on to her, Brad. White flag is out.
Yeah, I think it looks real good for Trent here. He's going to get a real big run out of 2, Marty.
Wade may shut the door. First straight is there. He sent it. Slide jump. First straight off of 4. Trent first straight with the win. What the hell just happened? This has been some sort of racing tonight at Charlotte. Trent first straight into the checkers. First win of the season for him. And I believe Jack Head is your champion. What incredible things, though, that we are watching here tonight, Zach. From this to the Open 358 race earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't lucky enough to call that, but I did get to watch it live, and both great finishes. I mean, we've really been treated to some special finishes this year in the B Series. They're really out racing the name of the class there.
Absolutely. And also, we got to give it up for the drivers, too. Caution-free race tonight.
Yeah, Greg did a good job there, you know, when he got loose of getting it down in the infield out of the leaders right before they came by because, man, that could have been a tragedy for the leaders.
9th coast-to-coast racing win for Verstraeten, his 4th in the Rebels. Just waiting for the points to finally update here after 10 races. And Jack Hitt, ladies and gentlemen, is a Rebels champion. The final gap, 8 points over Brad Waite.
Ooh, thank God I didn't get into it. I was right on in Clevenger for that race. Oh, I didn't know that.
All right,
that was fun.
Yeah, that was so much fun indeed. We got Randy Shreves here. We're gonna bring him in here. Randy, you had a great car, but talk me through when you guys caught up Brad Waite. It seemed to have lost a lot of momentum there.
Yeah, I think I was just trying too hard there to pass. I think it was Trent there. But yeah, I think I just pushed it a little too hard. Just a little tricky there on top. I don't know. I was just trying to be patient through the whole race and hope one of them guys up front would screw up. But I did that more than anybody. So
overall, though, what positives do you take from this run?
Definitely just take it a little more easy, especially going into this next race. A lot tougher guys there, so definitely have to be a little more patient and just try to not get that wall.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I definitely want to thank you, Marty, for putting on this broadcast. Everybody at Coast to Coast. I want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Coulter West at Redline Design Company, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, and I want to thank everybody for watching.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Great job and best of luck in the Renegades coming up.
Thanks, Marty.
Randy Shreves finishing 3rd. Let's go to our man that finished 2nd with probably the heartbreak of the night, Brad Waite. Brad, talk me through those final laps.
Story of my life, heartbreak, you know. I was really hoping to make something happen there, and I don't know. I felt like the bottom was, maybe I should have moved up earlier, but I felt really comfortable down there, and I just started hearing it in my headset, and I thought, well, this is time, I got to move up, and just a mistake on my end there, 1 lap to go. I knew the slider was coming, but I didn't want to pinch myself and then take me and him out, but it is what it is. I came up short. Oh well, what can you do? Nothing really to hang my head on, but just a little irritated at myself. I had a couple of good runs earlier in the season. It just kind of really put me hankering behind. So, but hey, I'll take a P2, and I think probably P2 in points there. I think Jack got me.
Yes,
it's been fun.
He did. I do want to ask you about that as well. Obviously, had a fourth place finish. Going on into tonight, I know the points gap with drops was about 23 when you scored the pole and put it down to just under 20 or so. Did you feel like that there was some sort of chance that you could win the championship, or not really with the car count tonight?
I honestly felt I do like this track, and I came in, I felt good out of the gate, and when I set quick time, I thought, okay, but then you get the points there, but then you still start P4, and hey, won it, and I felt really good on the pole. I just thought, hey, just don't get in my own head, be calm. I got 30 clean laps, just do your thing, and just like I said, just little mistakes on my end there towards the end of the race. I probably should have changed up my line a little bit, but it is what it is. We'll live on to fight another day.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Everybody at my team there, Inferno Motorsports, M9 Performance. They had this thing on rails tonight. And, High Line Cinematography and AMJ Custom Creations. Been a lot of fun.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and hopefully we see you in the Renegades.
Thanks for you guys up at the booth and coast to coast.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate it. Brad Waite, our second place finisher. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner in Trent Verstraeten. Oh man, Trent, that was not easy getting away from Brad. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so kept tagging the wall there. It was really rough running the top. Like, there wasn't much up there. Tagged the wall, just stepped on it a little bit and gave it back to him. And then I didn't think I was going to get it back. And then I just kind of put her up on the wall and was pinning it and went for the slider at the end. I didn't realize he was in the points chase. Maybe I wouldn't have went for a slider like that if I knew he was that close in the points. But, still going for the win at the end of the day. So just kind of sent it in there and was able to get it back.
We just saw the replay of the big run you had off of turn 2. Did you think he was going to maybe go for a block into turn number 3, play defense to protect you from going for the slider?
Yeah, that's why I tried to get under there like as early as I could, just so if you seen I was there, maybe stop him from coming all the way down. I knew it was going to be coming, but was able to sneak by there, and he could have just took me out. So respect to him for just racing me heads up to the line.
What happened as well when you hit the wall, by the way?
Once you touched the wall, right by the checkered flag, I kind of tagged the wall with my right front one of the laps, and it was a little handling a little weird, and then it just sucked me into the wall at one point and then couldn't get off of it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout out to Super Dirt Car Series, my team, Venom Racing, Roger, and everyone behind the scenes at C2C, and you guys for broadcasting.
We'll let you go, man. Great job. Congratulations on the win. Your 4th Rebels win, and best of luck in Renegades.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that is your winner, Trent Verstraeten. But now we go to talk with your champion, his first Rebels championship. Jack Hitt, how does it feel, man?
Yeah, I don't know anything about championship, Marty. I'm just here to let everybody know about the micro non-wings tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. That feels great, man. Had one stolen from me about a year ago by somebody in here on a tiebreaker, but
God,
taking it home
sounds
this
like a
time.
really bad guy.
Oh, oh, Brandon, dang! But man, going on into this race, did you think you had a good chance of getting it coming on in with the car count we had, or were you thinking, with Brad getting the pole for this race, gain 5 bonus points on you coming in, or did you feel like there was going to be a good title hunt?
Oh, Brad made it scary. I was apparently more confident than I should have been looking at it, only winning by 3 points. But yeah, I tried to play it safe there. I really wanted to get up top and start banging on the wall, but because I saw Randy and I think Jack, maybe somebody, there were a couple people up there behind Brad. I saw them catching up to him, but I just every time I went up there, I got real tight. Car just didn't feel great, and got some wheel damage one time from banging the wall, so I just stuck to the middle and brought it home.
So is this a race where you had to be, where you wanted to be patient, or is there some points where you needed to take risks?
Oh, I came in wanting to finish in first. I wanted to win this race, but I did lack of talent and lack of car tonight. I guess just didn't work out.
I know you're excited for this coming week. I know you mentioned it. We're getting micros and we're getting Millbridge. I know you're excited for that. I'm nervous I may lose a graphics card tomorrow.
Hey, you better get an extra one then. Get a backup. Get the update going. We got non-wing micros at Chili Bowl 6 o'clock. We're gonna have starting in like a D or a E main, something like that. And little birdie told me we might be looking for a broadcast. Nudge, nudge.
Tomorrow or Wednesday?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I don't know if I will be. We will see. I don't know yet. But who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout out to you guys, of course. Put on the broadcast. Brett filling in there for a while. He was a good time. Roger, everybody at the league, all the guys that showed up and made this a good season. Brad, Gavin, Jack, Randy, Steven, Trent, Connor was up there at the front of a lot of the races, Brandon, of course, too. Just obviously a great league of guys. And, of course, shout out to my wife giving me time to do it.
Enjoy it, man. Congratulations. Hopefully we see you in Renegades. You definitely deserve it. We're happy for you.
I'll be there. Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Congrats, Jack.
Jackhead is your Rebels champion, and he gets the job done tonight. We'll step aside for a little bit when we come back. Renegade action on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a
hiatus. So let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get set to go for a little bit of Renegades action. Renegades, as always, brought to you by our good friends at Dillon Westbrook Racing. Well, let's bring you inside the booth and bring in the booth boys here. Welcome back, everyone. Marty Sakala alongside Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman getting set to go here. Boys, while we are waiting for action to get going, let's talk about what we got coming up here for Week 13. And obviously one of our favorite things we like to do during Week 13 here, guys, is try out the new stuff. Zach, I know you're really excited for rain to come to iRacing, and I understand you're excited for it to happen during the 12 hours of Sebring.
Yeah, that's going to be so exciting. Like, I mean, sitting there with all your friends, determining whether or not it's time to go back onto slicks or go off slicks and onto wets. It's going to be a big experiment for everybody, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Same here. Brandon, I know you as a dirt guy, I know you're excited for Millbridge and the micro sprints just like Jack is.
Yeah, absolutely. This are going to be so much fun, and especially we're going to start out with doing our little chili bowl, and we're going to start out with the non-wing micros. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it.
I don't know what I'm excited for, but like I know I've done a couple of things to get ready for this new one. Like I have actually decided to turn off the regular crew chiefs program that I've been using and use the iRacing crew chief because of this rain stuff. Like it can tell you, when the rain is coming, what are the chances of rain, when's it going to dry, and stuff like that. But there is also, if I recall correctly, a new user interface. If you want to try it out, I think you can still stick to the old one. The new one, I think I want to see if I get a feel for it. If I like it, I'll try it. If I don't like it, oh well. So, but a lot of things going on here. Good as well, guys, to have actual racing back, real life racing. Of course, we're nearly a month into the regular season. World of Outlaws got a race at Fallujah tonight. Don't know what else is going on in the world of racing. I think that's the only dirt/asphalt race taking place tonight. But good to have real racing back, guys. What have you guys been thinking of the season so far?
I was really, I'm being from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I like to root for the Shark Racing boys, and it was really nice seeing Jacob Allen win that high limit race because, let's face it, Logan is his uncle, but it's basically like his big brother. They're almost the same age, and watching him dominate so hard, and you just come in second all the time. It's real neat it's always a great start to the season when you go out and get a win right away.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the high limit season too, seeing what they've been putting up here. The racing's been really good. I like the uniqueness that they bring. I think this is a big win because if you think about it, if there are two races on the same night, you'll still get a huge gate at both races, sellouts, two completely different areas. I know you may see different talent, but I think it's still a huge win for sprint car race, and I think sprint car racing goes up a completely another level when it comes to exposure. What do you think, BD?
I think World of Outlaws has officially kind of almost met their match. They've been struggling for the past couple years, I feel like personally, but with this high limit and how many drivers they are getting to commit to it, it's almost the final nail in the coffin. I don't know. I don't expect. It's hard to say. I don't expect them to be around for very much longer, but it's kind of what it's looking like, unfortunately.
I still think the Outlaws got some good things going on. They still got the big races. You got the Kings Royal. You've got the Knoxville Nationals. You got some of those big races out west, though.
Yes, you do, but at the same time, those sprinklings of big races are not gonna keep them afloat above the high limit series. My opinion.
We'll see what happens. As a whole, though, it's still a good time to be a sprint car racing fan, no matter what. With the exposure it's getting, it's still a good time, though. So, but I'm looking forward to the racing up here in the area. Of course, this weekend in my neck of the woods, not too far from me, is Syracuse, and we've got our Motorsports Expo to kick off unofficially kick off the local racing season. I'm going to be there with the CRSA Sprint. I know Dean's going to be there with the Super Dirt Car Series, so if you're out in the area, come by and see us. We'll be having a lot of fun. I don't know if any of our drivers are going to be there that are out of the New York area, but it's all going to be for a good time. We're looking forward. I'll be there Saturday only. I won't be there Sunday, so we'll see what goes down. So, got some other action happening on track as a little bit away from getting things officially started. I know with that quick race, that green to checkered race, I don't think we're going to begin action really until 8:45, I believe, if I recall correctly. So, while we are at it, let's talk points coming on in. And the Renegades, I think we've got it's a good story here because it's the biggest lead coming in. Steven Goldner, 43 points over Blake Chapman. He is 35 laps away from regaining the crown for Vanderbilt. Zach, let's talk about it. What a returning year it's been for Vanderbilt and a recovering year.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They got the ass kicked out of them, the past couple years. So all the Vanderbilt guys did. They needed to do some figuring out, and this year they really did it. I mean, I think Moonen came out and he won week 1, didn't he? I mean, came out and just with a bang. Or I mean, Goldner did won week 1 and just came out with a bang, and they really proved that they're here to stay, and they look really fast here tonight as well.
4 wins on the season for the driver of the number 30, Kyle Moonen, with 2 wins. But, I mean, for Steven Goldner, he's the driver of the season to kick off 2024, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was only a matter of time before those boys came back with the force, and they really, like Zach said, came out this year and just showed out. But especially since they now have it all figured out and they have all the kinks worked out, I see them, obviously Goldner probably winning the championship tonight. I see them maybe taking the next 2 championship seasons if things continue, unless it gets a complete rebump into something completely different. But I see them being very successful for the next couple seasons.
Who knows? All right, we're not beginning till 8:45. Just a reminder. So I tell you this: let's go to another break, and when we come back, we'll have qualifying set for the Dylan Westbrook Racing Renegades. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Again, getting set to go for Renegades here. Brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Here's a look at the times coming on in. Donovan Ross currently quickest at a 13:06. Steve-O's been running pretty well this season. Of course, we mentioned got that win at Lincoln earlier this year. We also got this guy in second. I think this is surprising a lot of people. Bob D. Good in second spot at a 13:11 right now, Zach.
Yeah, definitely nothing against Bob, but I mean, it's a little shocking to see him up there. He may have been in here real early, too. I know the track's had a lot of evolution to it, but hopefully Bob can keep that up because, like I say, a lot of evolution on the track, and it's going to be a slick feature.
Same stuff here when it comes to the championship drivers. Blake Chapman, 7th quickest thing stands at 13:92. And as this loads up here, there's Stephen Goldner in the 30, a 13:27. So obviously the lap times are different depending on track state and when you join. But things are looking interesting right now, Brandon, when it comes to the lap times.
What were they? I wasn't here for that.
We've got Donovan Ross, that's the quickest at a 13:06. Bob DeGood second, 13:11. Blake Chapman 7th, 13-18. Patrick Spangler 8th, 13-19. And Steven Goldner is 10th at a 13-27.
Yeah, joining like 5 minutes too late in the track, that takes a major turn for the worse. You see, kind of like right through that middle part, there's a nice little shiny spot that you touch that, and you're gonna go sideways, and you're gonna lose about 4/10 right off the rip.
Yeah. Car count right now at 21 here, Zach. So should be taking everybody here tonight. So good news for you.
Yeah, because I'm a little worried here. I'm out here qualifying. I'm all over the place, so I'm going to need some luck tonight. Good thing I don't have to race my way in the show.
So all cars are believed to be, almost all cars are in the pits right now. They should be starting qualifying here in just about a minute. Drivers' meeting should be taking place right now, if not already wrapped up. Patrick Spangler says it's going to be a choo-choo train all night since the water truck broke. Uh-oh. Steve Bixter says Shaggy going to direct drive. Yeah, you saw Zach switch to a DD wheel. Was that a Moza?
Yeah, the R9.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I didn't go crazy with the R12, but my dad
Smart.
was cool enough to give me the R9, and I appreciate the heck out of it.
We got, I think, 2 of 3 here in the booth that use direct drive, or if you include all the booth boys, 3 of 5. Patrick was saying earlier about the race, no cautions, will fuel play a factor? That could have possibly been a thing. I never thought of that in the finish between Waite and Verstraeten. Joe Canella says water truck driver is drunk again. Steve Bixler says DraftKings have the captain Gary Taylor at 8-5. So. All right, practice is complete. We're going to qualifying. Let's get the first driver out on the racetrack, and you see your qualifying times and how your favorite drivers are in the bottom of your screen. If a driver is in purple, we'll try and put a focus on them. And you know what? Why not? We'll watch Shaggy in the 72. No pressure, Zach. Bob DeGood and Jesse Bandy will be putting up laps just at around the same time. So see where the bar is set at. Jesse Bandy has set the bar. Patrick Spangler now goes to the top. 14-2. Steven Goldner, 14-19. Better lap for Chapman that time. Quick time, Jesse Bandy at a 14-15. Jack Clevenger to the top at a 14-12. Steven Goldner, quick time at a 13-92. All the lap times are changing as we speak. Donovan Ross slower on lap 2. 14:31 is his best time. Randy Shreve second quick on lap 1. 14:11. Does he have what it takes to beat out Steven Goldner and Blake Chapman? Shreves is slower. Blake Chapman off for turn 4. I don't think he got it. 13.96. And he was the quickest of everyone in Sector 1. 10 seconds left here in qualifying. John Short trying to get a lap in. And the lap in goes 14:46. So Steven Goldner, the quickest, and he gets 5 points. Blake Chapman gets 4. So increase that lead to about 42 or so. And with that being said, we're ready for Heat 1. Brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Here is how they will start. On the pole, Donovan Ross in car number 5. Next to him, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 2, Randy Shreves in the 56, and next to him, Steven Goldner in the 30. Row number 3, Bob DeGood in the 7, and Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Rounding out the grid, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. I gotta tell you something. There have been a couple of new schemes since I last did a Monday Night Madness race. Patrick Spangler's got a nice 39 car there.
Yeah, it looks really clean. I like it a lot.
I know he does the schemes a lot similar to Ed Lynch Jr. That one is really nice.
We all know what it's missing.
Yes, we all know what it is missing. And it's on the white car, not on any of the other ones. Winner starts on pole again. Everybody makes the show no matter what. And we'll go one extra lap here. Brandon, who are you watching out for?
How can you look out anybody else with Spangler there on the outside front row? But you gotta also look out right behind him, right on his tail tank, Steven Goldner. Those two are gonna have a great battle here in Heat 1.
How about you, Zach? Who are you watching out for?
Well, I mean, this top 4, looking at it, dude, this could be the top 4 in the feature, and I wouldn't be shocked. Kind of unbelievable. You definitely got to watch out for that 30, but Devo, man, starting on the inside, I like where he's at. I think Devo's going to win this thing.
Well, as I mentioned, winner is on pole. Everybody makes the show with a car count of just over 20 drivers. Ross and Spangler set to bring us to green. Here we go. Nearly four wide in turn number 1, and Donovan Ross goes through with the point. Patrick Spangler, the high side banger, looking for the lead off for turn number 4. He kisses the wall. Lap 1 led by Donovan Ross. A 5-car race for the top spot off for turn 2. Spangler can go to the point here, Brandon.
Yeah, he's trying that short slider out, trying to just keep up momentum, but he's kind of almost losing it to Goldner. Still comes Goldner up the middle.
He's trying to thread it 3 wide for the race lead, and he's got a chance at it, Zach. Donovan Ross, meanwhile, nearly hits the Tory tire, has to back off the throttle. Spangler to the point, Zach.
Yeah, Donovan's down there 2-footing it like a machine. He did it for as long as he could, but Spangler able to carry that momentum around the top and get it done, but here comes Goldner.
How about Kurt Schatzer? Up there in the 4th position, starting in 6th, looking around the outside of the number 5. 2 laps to go here in Heat 1, Brandon.
Yeah, and I love what Ross is trying to do down there at the bottom. You got to have a much shorter gear than he's got. Here comes Goldner for that quick lead.
Slide job, Goldner. That's a tight slider. And the 30 leads with 1 to go. Who's starting on pole tonight? Spangler with a heck of a slider up the track, though. Nearly in the wall. Steven Goldner's going to have a chance here in turn number 3. Who's starting on pole? Steven Goldner's got it. Off for 4. Your pole sitter's in the 30.
Dang, man.
That was a good race.
That was a great race.
Ross, Schatzer, Shreves. Round out the top 5 at the end of this one. We now go to Heat 2, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Shaggy's on the pole. Zach Chapman in car number 72. Next to him, it's Tyler Wilson, the Macho Man's in car 42. Row number 2, Jack Clevenger in the 78. And the salesman, Blake Chapman, in the 20. Row number 3, John Short in the 51. And the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the grid, Trent Verstraeten in car number 88. Alrighty, Zach, we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Talk about imposter syndrome starting on the front row.
Alright, so we'll make his mic cold temporarily. Who are you watching out for here, Brandon?
Let's see here. Oh, Blake's starting 4th. Oh, he's going to make his way up. There's no question about that.
How many laps do you think it takes for him to take the lead?
Oh, that's the question, isn't it? I give him 2.5 laps. He'll make a slider through 1 and 2 in lap 2 or lap 3.
Alrighty. I will take the over just because of Tyler Wilson in front of him. Alrighty. Winner starts outside of the front row, next to Steven Goldner.
Green, green, green.
Underway with Heat 2. Could be 3 wide for the race lead early. Tyler Wilson, Zach Chapman, and Jack Clevenger. Shaggy has to back out of it. Off at turn number 4, lap 1. We're nearly 4 wide. Jack Clevenger leads it. Here comes Tyler Wilson trying to go around the outside, Brandon.
Tyler Wilson's making that outside look grand, but look at Clevenger on that bottom side, keeping it nice and even. Absolutely love to see that out of him. They're going to both clear him out of the board.
All right, let's see if it happens on lap 3. Brandon, I think he heard you,
Here
Blake.
he comes.
He heard you. He heard you. Slide job by the salesman, and Blake Chapman's out in front. But Tyler Wilson gonna counter it with a slider of his own. Slide job city at the dirt track at Charlotte. Big slider by Blake.
Slider by Short.
Big wreck by John Short. And he collects Jack Clevenger.
And Chapman slides into third.
Zach Chapman after starting on pole. How about Jeff Barker's, Brandon? The Brewerton Beast starting 6th, taking advantage of both Clevenger and Short.
Absolutely, and that's all you need is a little bit of luck in there, and that'll get you places, man. That's a, what is that, a 6th position jump on the start? Maybe 9?
So. I don't know, though. But Blake Chapman, your winner in heat race number 2. Wilson, Zach Chapman, Barker, Clevenger, and Short. Run off the field, no call for Trent Verstraeten on the grid. So heat 2 is done. We now move on to heat race number 3, brought to you by Glenridge Motorsports Park. On the pole, Brian Dickens in the 122. Next to him, Kyle Sargent in car 91. Row number 2, the Vanderbilt Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Next to the Pink Panther, Jesse Exon in the 127. Row 3, Gentleman Jack Hit in the 217. Next to Barry Goldner in the number 36. Rounding out the field, to Captain Gary Taylor in the 34. Zach, how'd you feel about your car in heat 2?
Well, truthfully, sitting there on the grid, I was real nervous about getting loose in turn 1, so I clicked the wingback 3, and in turn 1, I could not turn. That's why I just floated up there in the middle, and I didn't want to get in the gas and wreck somebody who was fast. So when I finally got up high, I started to get my rhythm in, and then I think John threw that slider, and that opened the door for me to get 3rd. So got lucky that I got up from 5th after that terrible start.
Wow, we ready to go green because it's normally 2 pace laps here around Charlotte. A reminder, here's our schedule for week 13. We've got the Chili Bowl featured tomorrow with wingless micros. Wednesday, we've got our fun action with micros at Millbridge, and I believe, can't remember, where else are we?
Are you talking about Wednesday?
Yes.
Millbridge in Kern County.
That's right.
I believe we're also pulling out the SRX cars.
That's right, SRX. I forgot about that. We haven't talked about that. I am hyped for that. I had a friend test it out in the Alpha, and he was excited, and it drove just like it, and he works at SRX too.
Green, green, green.
Nice.
All right, green flag is out for heat 3, and Sargent and Dickens touch. Jesse Bandy says, thank you very much, boys. I'll take it from here. But he is sideways off for turn 2. He took the bait. Brian Dickens goes to the point once again. Sargent in 2nd. Atkinson racing Bandy for 3rd, and same with Hidden, Brandon.
Yeah, Bandy got a little too jumpy there. Got that wall. Unfortunately, kind of bit him in the butt. But here he comes back to work on it. Ooh, almost got a little bit loose. Had to get way out of gas. Here it goes again.
Slide job by the Vanderbilt Master. Sargent with an easy counter. Exit makes this a 3-man race for 2nd. Sargent now pulls out the slider, but he taps the wall, Zach. Here comes Atkinson.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick kind of warned us on the beginning it was going to be train racing. The only way to avoid the train is to throw sliders like that, and Atkinson almost got him there. We're going to see a lot of them tonight, guys.
He nearly paid the price, and he's fading fast. Barry Goldner tries to take away fifth from Pink Panther, and it doesn't work. 2 to go. Meanwhile, it's Brian Dickens out in front. He's coming to the white flag this time, guys.
Absolutely dominating the heat. Dickens is not up there, kind of running that almost short slider line, almost middle, and that was working very nice for him.
He's in the number 122 dirt track bank ride, and takes the win in Heat 3. Vandy second, Sargent third, Atkinson fourth, and fifth, Goldner sixth, and Taylor seventh. So nice recovery from Jesse Atkinson after fading back a lot. Warm-ups about to take place, brought to you by the Oshweekend Speedway. When we come back, feature time for 35 laps of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we are moments away from our feature. As we take a look at the times here, Patrick Spangler the quickest at a 14:36, just about 300s in front of Steven Goldner. Zach, you are 12th quickest. How is the track feeling right now?
Well, you know, it's definitely slick. It's going to be a lot of sliders, so you just got to bide your time, make sure you set the guy up in front of you right, and make sure that the hole's big enough to park it, that you don't hit the guy 2 guys up, because I'm sure you're going to see that a couple times tonight.
We'll see what happens. 21 drivers, if not 20 drivers, set to take the green for tonight's feature. And on behalf of the Coast to Coast Racing League, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. It's now time to meet the field for tonight's 35-lap feature. Here's the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Steven Goldner in car number 30. Next to him, the salesman Blake Chapman. In the 20 are 2 contenders racing for the championship. Row 2, Brian Dickens in the number 122. Next to him, it's the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 3, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the 42. Next to the Bandy Built Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Row 4, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 05. And Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Rounding out the top 10, Kyle Sargent in the 91. And Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row 6, the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. and the Pink Panther, Jesse X, in the 127. Row 7, Randy Shreves in the 56, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row 8, Gentleman Jack Hit in the 217, and Barry Goldner in the 36. Check that, it was actually Terry Landis in the 161 that is next to him. Rounding out the field here on the grid, John Short in the 51, Barry Goldner in the 36, Bob DeGood in the 7. No call for Trent Verstraete, and Gary Taylor rounds out the field tonight. All righty, Zach, we wish you the best of luck tonight.
Yep, appreciate it, fellas.
Absolutely. All righty, Brandon, who's your pick to win tonight?
It's pretty hard to go against Stephen Goldner. I'm going to go with another Bandy Book guy and go with Jesse Bandy himself.
All right, you know what? I'm going to go with the salesman, Blake Chapman, for the win. He's done it before at Charlotte. I think he's going to do it once again. Moments away from getting going here. 35 laps at Charlotte. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? There's always a favorite. Pick it ASAP. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? All roads lead to Charlotte, the Renegades Championship. It's showtime in North Carolina. Stephen Goldner with the advantage on Blake Chapman just slightly. Goldner throws the slider in turns number 3 and 4. Lap 1 of the books led by the 30. 3 wide for third, and we're wrecking in the back. Randy Shreve, Zach Chapman, Kurt Schatzer, Jesse Atkinson. And our first caution flies here. Believe they did complete the first lap, though.
Yeah, Zach just got loose and came down. 3 cars touched, and it was all over from there.
He's looking at what happened. You see Chapman touches with Schatzer. Randy Shreves around. Chapman loses the top wing. Again, everybody has a quick repair. They will be able to use it. Let's ride on board with Kurt Schatzer. That's Chapman right next to him to his right. Touch of the tires. Randy Shreves also there with pretty much nowhere to go. Right on board with Zach. One more, Randy Shreves. Believe we're 1 degree, correct, Brandon?
What was that?
Are we 1 degree?
Coming to 1 degree.
All right, perfect. There you see all the onboards of the drivers that were involved. Field resets. Again, we did take that lap, and so this is our first of 3 double file restarts. Stephen Goldner selects the top. He's next to Blake Chapman. That's row 1. Row 2, Patrick Spengler, Brian Dickens. Row 3, Donovan Ross and Tyler Wilson. Row 4, Jesse Bandy and Kyle Sargent. Rounding out the top 10, Jeff Barker and Jack Hitt. Set for the restart on lap number 3.
Green, green, green.
Stephen Goldner holds serve. Blake Chapman up top to move up to the 2nd position. Here comes Ross. 3 wide for 3rd. Brian Dickens now up on the top. And let's see what happens off in turn number 4 for 3rd. Look out, Dickens to the wall. Wilson rams him in the back. Everybody hangs on for dear life. We stay green. And now we watch the race for what is now 3rd between Ross and Spengler, Brandon.
Yeah, I think Ross got a hint that he needed.
Goldner caught the wall. Ooh. Goldner caught the wall. Chapman had a back out of it. Now he looks low. 4 cars under a blanket. Slide job by the salesman. Chapman can't put it to the point. 3 wide for the top spot. Here comes Devo.
Back on the front stretch.
Junkyard in turn 1. There's Bandy, Zach Chapman, Jack Hitt. Someone's lost a wheel. I believe that's the wheel of Shaggy.
No, it would be. Looks like Zach going to avoid the wreck. went right to the infield track to tire.
They were 4 wide in turn 4. Bandy caught Jack Head. The gentleman makes a good save. No damage. Now let's ride on board with some of these drivers. That was a yellow tube brand at the top for 1 as we ride with Bandy. Jesse Atkinson. Bam, just clobbered Bandy. There you see Chapman lost the left front. Here's what we're referring to. Let's ride on board with Shaggy. A lot of these drivers were involved in the first caution too. Darts low, but the Tory tire is in the way.
One to go.
We are doubled back up. Stephen Goldner now selects the inside for this restart. And with Blake Chapman on row number 1, Donovan Ross, Patrick Spangler, row 2, Kyle Sargent, Tyler Wilson, row 3, Brian Dickens, Jeff Barker, row 4, John Short, and Jack Clevenger round out the top 10. Your biggest mover of the race so far, John Short, up 8 spots. He is in 9th. Blake Chapman caught sleeping. This helps out Donovan Ross move up to the 2nd position as the field stays 2 by 2 off the corner. Devo looking for the race lead. He's competed well against the Vanderbilt guys so far this season. He's still back in 2nd as the salesman looks for a run, Brandon.
Yeah, Ross must have shortened his gear a lot because that's the only way you're going to be able to get a run off that bottom side this late in the game. And there goes Wilson into the wall for a little wall ride as he drops back about 5 spots.
That may have been Kyle Sargent as Donovan Ross looking for the lead. Does he throw the slider in? No, he does not. Everyone on the top amongst the contenders except for Devo. He is a contender, but deciding to save tires here at the moment, Brandon.
Yeah, and it's a smart play of his. Stay down there, kind of just save your stuff, because when the time comes in those last 5 laps and it's go time, you're going to need every last bit of tire wear as you can.
This is smart at the same time. He has, though, lost a spot to Blake Chapman, may lose a 2nd to Patrick Spangler. Stephen Goldner, quickest lap of this race right now, at a 14:57. Here's the 5-lap average after 11 laps. Top 3 are virtually identical. Now Blake Chapman had the quickest lap of 14:55. And he had the draft, and the guy continues it.
Ooh, wrecking the turn 1.
John Short, caution is out.
Oh, caught somebody else. Oh, my God.
That is, I believe, Bob DeGood it was. Flipping many times. Here's a look at what happened to Short. Shreves, no room on the outside. And where is the contact? Oh, right there. Right, we should have another angle of that with Bob DeGood. You're about to see it. Saw Shreves there getting loose, and then watch the 7. I came down. And man, what a lick. Head on. Pure ready many times. Right on board with Bob DeGood. Had a good car in practice, was 2nd quickest. Thought he had a miss too at the same time, Brandon.
Yeah, John Shorts came down just that little bit, and that's all it takes. Because you're hoping they're just holding their brakes, and then you commit to your line, and I've had it happen to me plenty of times. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun ride.
13 laps complete. I believe this is our final double file restart coming up.
How are you doing over there, Shaggy? You out of the infield care center?
Up. Let's unmute him. There we go. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, yeah, rough night. I bet you I got a lot of people mad at me for getting loose there on the first one. And then the second one, you guys saw it. Just tried to avoid it and met the infield tractor tire. So called it a night early tonight. Ran out of parts.
Here we come back to green. Stephen Goldner holds serve. Blake Chapman better when he came to that restart. Trying to clear Donovan Ross. Now Ross switches up to the high side compared to the bottom. Spangler and Ross wheel to wheel for third. And Ross has it for now. Goldner now trying to open up the lead here, Zach.
Yeah, you know, Goldner's just been able to walk away. He's kind of been running that middle line there, 1 and 2, able to save that right rear tire just a little bit for if he needs to go up there later in the race.
That's Jesse Bandy around to the 49. No caution for now. He is still on the track, and now it's out. Bob DeGood was approaching him, and so Bandy brings out the yellow flag, and I believe we will now go to a single file restart. If not, this will stay double until 10 to go. He got rear-ended by Jack Hitt. Now, what caused Bandy fall off the pace is the question. Oh, no, they were checking up. Because I think that was Clevenger. Fell off the pace. And we saw there Bob DeGood approaching, so yellow had to come out. Everything is updated here. We'll go 1 to green this time by. Believe we may have, let me double check here on something. All right, so this is going to be double file until 10 to go. We do have the spring schedule out. We'll give you the full Monday night spring schedule. Actually, we do not. Never mind. But we're ready to come back to green. Stephen Goldner and Blake Chapman will bring the field down. 16 laps complete here at Charlotte. Oh, Donovan Ross, I think, hit the Tory tire and lost a lot of positions. He's going to need a caution to get back in this race, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm going back and watching that. He went, well, he barely missed it. Yeah, he lost a lot of ground, and
Jesse Bandy has crashed. No caution yet. We stay green. Here's a look real quick at what happened to Devo into turn number 1. I'll tell you too, Bandy jumped.
Wreck into 1. Big wreck.
Oh, we got one flipping big time. That is Kyle Sargent. Who's brought out the caution flag once again. Couple of things to show you here. First off, Jesse Bandy's crash. He may have pulled the car off with it not handling too well. That was the case. But Zach, let's see what happened here with Kyle Sargent. He's caught the wall. Dickens, there's Wilson. Man. Jack Hitt, I think, caught a piece of that too.
Definitely got to be happy we're in virtual cars sometimes. That was pretty violent.
Yes. It was caught the wall first, then caught Brian Dickens. That accident as well at one point actually knocked out the camera. For those wondering as well, the World of Outlaws feature is underway at Fallujah. We'll see who finishes first, us or Fallujah. Right now, Volusia's on lap 7 of 25, and Buddy Colfoyd is out in front with Donnie Schatz in second.
It's real weird not seeing Brad Sweet on that list.
It is, for sure. All right, we're going to green this time. Bye.
So last time, if you noticed, Steven didn't necessarily get a great restart up top. He moved to the bottom this time.
Absolutely. We'll see if this helps out or hurts. Blake Chapman possibly too.
Green, green, green.
That may have hurt Blake Chapman as Spangler looks for the slide job, and I thought Blake has lost the leg. Tyler Wilson, Randy Shreves, the big one on the back straight at Charlotte.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh my!
They've been in that both of them have been in that situation before against each other. And we have turned the page to another chapter in this story. Blake lost the top wing. It's come back, and you know what that means. There's going to be a bunch of damage on the 20 enough to come in. He'll lose a lot of speed.
8 cars in total caught up in that mess.
Here's a look at what happened again.
Blake just enters so high up against the wall that he doesn't really have a chance to lift and come out of the gas to turn under him. No. If he lifts to try to turn under him, that car's immediately going to turn right, and he's right up against the wall. He entered with no limit, and he had to go in there and drive it hard if he didn't want to lose second place, and that's what he did. That's just racing.
So we have it further back. Jeff Barker, who was running in 7th, with nowhere to go, had a great run going. Jack Clevenger. Let me know when there's one to go, guys.
I believe we're coming one to go right now.
Nowhere to go either. Even try to go to the grass to try and dodge it. Finally, Randy Shreves.
Taking a closer look at Blake Chapman's vehicle right now. The front wing is pretty much well damaged, but the top wing doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it at all. He might have got away with something here.
Well,
look at those 2 surprise names in the top 5, 4th and 5th.
Donovan Ross is back in it, and you're talking about 5th and 6th? Nope, 4th and 5th.
Terry Landis and Goldner, yeah.
Wow, and Gary Taylor is in 7th.
Oh my!
We're back to green. Now let's watch Blake Chapman closely. He did see the top wing go away, then come back. See if that's going to cost him when it comes to speed. Donovan Ross in 2nd. Chapman's up on the wall. Maybe affecting his steer at the same time. Ross moves up to the 2 spot. 14 laps to go here, Brandon.
Yeah, Ross is still running that bottom, flirting with that infield tractor tire. I guess first time didn't scare him enough. He's going to go at it again.
Here comes Brian Dickens in that 122, trying to thread the needle on the 2 veterans. Ooh, that is tight between him and Barry Goldner. Dickens doesn't go for the slide job and moves up to 4th. Landis up 11, Goldner up 12, Taylor up 12 as well. Meanwhile, Stephen Goldner, a 9/10 of a second lead on Blake Chapman. We're coming to 11 to go this time, Zach.
Yeah, it seems like without a caution, this is pretty much Goldner's race. Blake's driving his tail off, but after that contact, it's definitely not the same. You can see him struggling in the middle of the corner. It's just not handling the way it was for him, so he's lucky to stay in 2nd place as far as I'm concerned.
Wilson with the slide job to 4th. Terry Landis up on the wall, and he's got a steering issue. And contact between Hit and Landis. Everybody hanging on for right now. Your race for 4th here. Let's go to the 5-lap average once again. With 9 laps to go, you know who clearly the better car is. Stephen Goldner on Blake Chapman. A lot of guys moving their way up after dodging a bunch of rocks. Here's Dickens for 4th on Wilson, Brandon.
Where are we? Yeah, Dickens is running down Wilson right now. Oh, Chapman in the wall.
Blake now with company for 2nd on Donovan Ross, who remember was saving tires earlier.
He's got to be careful with running that middle through that slick. He's going to lose a lot of tread if he keeps doing that.
Both need a caution. Steven Goldner out in front by 2.2 seconds and coming to the line is 5 laps away from taking home another championship.
Dick. Oh!
Evo's in the wall.
Wilson in the back of Ross.
Wilson with a nice wheelie. Hangs on to it. Brian
Dickens
now
with the
looking
2
to
for
slide
1.
job. Back to 4. Tyler Wilson now may go 2 for 1. It's 3 wide for the bottom step of the podium. Three laps to go. The last time Steven Goldner won a Renegades championship, got to go back to winter of 2021. 2 laps away from ending it on a sweet note would be his 5th win of the season. Half a mile away from the championship. In the Vanderbilt Racing Velocity Race Design number 30. It took this team a while to adapt to the new dirt package, but after 3 and 4, a bounce-back season. A great way to kick off 2024. Steven Goldner's the Renegades champion.
We're going to talk about consistency from Goldner, Marty. His last 4 laps, 14.641, 6.35, 6.34, 6.29. Just steady getting faster as the race went on. Goldner just like a fine wine.
Gets better with time. And Volusia has 5 laps left. So we beat out Volusia despite all the cautions. So great run by everybody here tonight. Biggest mover, Barry Goldner, up 12, beating out Gary Taylor. Finished 6th for Barry. I think that may be his best finish of the season in Renegades competition. So the Renegade season is in the books. And we will be back with you on the 11th for week 1 next week at a track to be determined. I believe that said 10 drivers that finished on the lead lap, and that was the case tonight with all the accidents that broke out. All right, we are just waiting for the top 3 to come in, and Blake Chapman and Brian Dickens. We'll wait to talk with Steven Goldner in just a moment. I think we got Blake. We can move him to the waiting room. That is the case. So just need to get Brian Dickens in, and then we will be good. We'll start with Blake then, since he finished in 2nd. Blake, a good run for you. Walk us through it tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of a tough finish there. Yeah, on that one restart, maybe I just misjudged it, but yeah, I thought there was going to be room there, and that wasn't the case. But yeah, I thought that I had probably the fastest car out here tonight, but after that wreck, I could barely steer the thing around the track, and I was fortunate enough to bring home a 2nd place, that's for sure. But definitely not the race we were hoping for, but I'll take a podium for sure.
So was it just at the end, just hanging onto the car for dear life?
Yeah. This car was still really, really fast, it felt like, even with the damage, but it definitely was handling a little bit off, and yeah, that was tough with how slick it was out here tonight. Keeping it up on that cushion and keeping it out of the wall at the same time, not a very easy task.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Yeah, I got to thank the family for watching and supporting all year long. I got to thank the guys at the Krite Sim Racing Team and the Can-Am Racing Team. And I got to thank Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps. And of course, I got to shout out Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. It's the best popcorn out there. You can head over to their website. And don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off. And I got to thank you guys for putting this broadcast on.
All right, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Thanks, Marty.
Blake Chapman finishing 2nd, And I don't believe we're going to get Brian Dickinson, unfortunately. So we're going to get right to the champ and Steven Goldner. Steven, welcome back. Vanderbilt back on top officially. How's it feel?
Yeah, it's good. I can't thank the team enough for giving me a good car all season. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of wins, a lot of victory lane beers with the e-chicks, and it's been a fun season.
50% of the races won. What do you have to say about a huge bounce back season after the rough start you guys had with the package, bouncing back on top?
Yeah, last season it was tough. It was a lot of learning, a lot of time and effort put into try to get our stuff back to where it needed to be. We struggled there a little bit early in last season. Got it kind of figured out. Definitely helped when I could run, Rebels and Renegades because we could try a bunch of stuff every night. It was great for our team to definitely build something up that showed to be really good.
This car looked flawless out there tonight. You had some opponents behind you, and obviously Blake and Patrick, they got together, and that seemed like to be the straw that broke the camel's back, and that helped you out there at the end secure this win.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit early, just being a little free on entry. I almost spun it out there pretty early in 1 and 2, just because I don't know if it was too much throttle, or just car wasn't set up with all that fuel. But it really came in late, and we could kind of go wherever we wanted. We could probably run, the race through the slick if we wanted to, but just log laps. Bunch of guys on my ear telling me I had a big lead, so I was just cruising there for the last 10 or so laps.
Yeah, you just said going to celebrate with a victory lane beer. How many tonight?
Not too many. I got to work in the morning, but we'll definitely be having 1 or 2.
Fair enough. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Ross Perina at Velocity Race Designs for painting their great car. All the guys at Vanderbilt, Moonin, Moonan's been with us all season. Lacey's been hit and miss. Jesse's been with us all season. My dad's been there all season. He just ran six, I think, tonight, so that's pretty cool for him. Moonin Racing Engines, you guys for the broadcast. Roger with everyone with Coast to Coast Racing Leagues. Fitz Perfect Photography. Dylan Westbrook Racing for being the title sponsor for the Renegades series.
Alrighty, man. Enjoy this one. Congratulations. Welcome back. Your third Renegades championship. First Renegades championship since I think 2021. So congratulations.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Steven Goldner gets it done. Let's bring the booth back in here. Get the cameras back on. Final thoughts on the season. We'll begin with you, Zach.
Well, hopefully I didn't get too many incident points. I know I was close on the border. I hope to be back in this series next year. It's a lot of fun. It definitely look to finish in the top 10 more consistently and put up more Goldner and Blake Chapman numbers maybe eventually in the future. That'd be nice. But those guys, they're two of the best, and they put on a show this season once again.
Brandon?
Another great season. Another great race by the Rebels to finish out the season. I feel like Rebels, what is this, past 2 seasons we've gone the final race without a single caution. That's pretty dang good for the Rebels, man. But unfortunately, my kind of mediocre year, I'll be back in Rebels next year. But I'm looking forward to it, being back in the booth with you guys. I enjoyed it tonight.
Heck of a season, guys, that's for sure. Can't wait. We got 7 days until next season begins, so prep is already underway, but we're going to have some fun coming up this week. Tomorrow night, wingless micros at the Chili Bowl, and then Wednesday, we're testing out the wingless micros at Millbridge, and then SRX at a couple different tracks. So, again, thanks for joining us all season long. We hope you had as much fun as we did. And on behalf of the Coast to Coast Race League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, and the talented group of admins, on behalf of my broadcast partners tonight, Brandon Dittmer and Zach Chapman, Martin Sakala saying so long. Congrats to all the winners out there, and congratulations to your champions, Anthony Morano in Open 358s, Jack Hitt in Rebels, Steven Goldner in Renegades. So long, everyone.